So, I meant to drop this video yesterday, but to be honest, I have not gotten around to this. The reason why is because I have a life. Specifically with this scare and pandemic that's been going on as of late. The coronavirus, yes, as all of you are aware of, we are in a national emergency due to this advanced form of the flu that's going around, even this late in the flu season. But not to fear, I know this may not be one of the more exciting videos I drop, but I feel as if this is one of the more necessary videos that I need to get out there. For all of you who are wondering about the pandemic that's been going on as of late, let's look at the official numbers right now for starters. So far, we have 153,000 confirmed cases worldwide with 5,000 deaths worldwide. Out of 7 billion people, we have 5,000 deaths. And out of those cases that we've had, 72,000 have recovered. I can give you the website, the official website. I know there have been fraudulent websites that have been going around, but this is the official one I've been using as of late. I'll put it in the description for all of you to track. But to be fair, what we're noticing here is that as far as cases are concerned, there has been an uptick worldwide outside of China, while China has been stabilizing in its cases. Now, to be honest, knowing how China, the People's Republic, rocks, I wouldn't trust those numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if those cases have shot up. But if we're looking at the pattern of China's cases, if their stats are even somewhat legitimate, they had an uptick of cases followed by a stream of recovery. And as far as I'm concerned, the world cases should reflect what's reported with China's numbers. Now we're seeing the uptick, but sooner or later, we're going to see those recovery rates go just as high. Now, as far as the uptick of cases are concerned, I'll just say that I am not a medical professional, so I can't officially say how all these cases are being made or what's causing the uptick officially, but with my observation and my deductive reasoning and common sense, this is my assumption. And it's one thing. It's not even the flu. Well, it's two things. It's not even the flu itself. It's not even the coronavirus itself. One, it's the hysteria. I have seen store shelves of things that don't make sense being empty. Things like toilet paper, which I've been told our toilet paper comes from China, which does not make sense. And apparently that's the reason why a lot of people are grabbing toilet paper like it's no tomorrow. It's not just to negotiate and deal with dirty foot, third world country broads, which, I mean, if you saw an extraneous amount of toilet paper being empty from the shelves last month, that was their case. But apparently this month now it's the coronavirus. And apparently the coronavirus for some reason eats toilet paper. I have not found a correlation yet. No one has told me a legitimate reason why. But also eggs. Tell me this. If the entire country, or a good amount of the country, or certain cities are going to end up in some self-quarantine lockdown which no one will be allowed to leave from their homes, how will eggs help you? I get canned goods, I get MREs, I get all non-perishable goods, or goods that will last you for years. But eggs are notoriously known to only last for weeks, and that's if you keep them in the fridge. So, somebody explain to me about the egg phenomenon thing. I mean, this is also a perfect opportunity, by the way, for all of you who are really doing your research and are looking to capitalize like myself. Look at all the shelves that are empty, and then look into all the companies that these shelves are affiliated with, and start buying. I'll preface this with saying I am not an official financial advisor, so do not take my financial advice to heart, but feel free to take advantage of this if you want. But in any case, the thing that's spreading this more than anything else, more than the flu itself, is the pandemonium behind it. Because think about it. When you have pandemonium, what do people do? They go to places where they think they'll be able to gather all the materials that they think will keep them safe, like stores. Especially these wholesale stores like Sam's Club and Costco. And if you've been to a Sam's Club or Costco, I mean, to be honest, you want to talk about catching the coronavirus. Avoid those places, especially when you have crowds of people waiting in line. The one thing that the government and health organizations have said that is legitimate, is to avoid big crowds. But I think a lot of people think that being in big crowds at Costco, at Sam's Club, Walmart, oh, that's fine. That's fine by me. I won't get infected. I'm fighting the war. I'm fighting the disease by going to a big crowd. Okay, all right, cool. Pandemonium is what's spreading this thing more than anything else. Number 2, and this is especially true among countries like China, Italy, I have a feeling this is big as well, in other parts of Europe, as well as the US. Lack of good hygiene. And speaking of the US, since we're talking about a nation of over 330 million people, let's see how many cases we have within the United States. Out of 300 million people, so far we have 2,571 official cases. If you want to take the unofficial numbers, we can round that up to 3,000. That's fine. 3,000 US cases. Alright, cool. How many deaths do we have so far? 37 deaths in Washington State. Okay. 5 deaths in California. 3 deaths in Florida. And 1 death throughout several other states, including Colorado, Georgia, Kansas, New Jersey, New York, and South Dakota. But out of all those who've been infected, how many people have recovered? Well, on the Diamond Princess cruise ship, which has been at the docks of Bay Area locations, 325. But interestingly enough, we do not have a lot of recovery cases reported for the United States. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to scroll down here, honestly. Well, 6 recovered in California, but I can't see Washington State's recovery rate. This is weird, because Washington State has been the epicenter of all of this. So no Washington State recovery. Oh, you know what? Look, the recovery to death rate is 12-1 if you want to look at the world stats. So if you want to boost that up in the United States, a first world nation, supposedly, where we have good hygiene, supposedly, that rate should be higher. As everyone has stated before, the people who need to be concerned about this are the elderly and those with pre-existing upper respiratory conditions. Now, if you have neither one of those, then you'll likely survive this, even if you succumb to catching this. Speaking of which, the other thing you can do in order to prevent yourself from getting this coronavirus or minimizing the chances of doing so is having a healthy immune system, which no mainstream nor alternative media has mentioned this. Maintain your health, specifically your immunity. And I will preface this with saying I am not a doctor nor a professionally licensed individual who officially gives out health advice. This is something that I am recommending off of just common sense and personal practice. We can go down through all the ways how you can maintain that, but if you want to take a proactive action, be healthy, don't eat junk food, exercise, even if you have to stay indoors to exercise, just do something to maintain your immunity. And one of the things you can do to maintain your immunity, which is probably counterintuitive compared to what everyone's saying, is move around. Don't sit in the house all day. I'm not saying go into big crowds. As I said, avoid big crowds, but make sure you get some sort of movement throughout your day. Don't hunker yourself in. That is the worst thing you can do, not only for your psychological health, but for your immunity. The immunity is built by being exposed to things, not concealing yourself in. But take all the measures, eat all the foods, and do all of the physical activities that you need to do. Don't overstrain yourself. Don't go to these big gyms where a bunch of people are. I mean, if you want to do the gyms, I highly suggest you just taking common measures and common precautions to just sanitize everything and just wipe down everything thoroughly before and after you use it, and just maintain your immunity. But back to Soapgate, which I can't emphasize enough, especially in places like America and other locations I've listed, is the lack of good hygiene. I cannot emphasize how many times I have seen individuals who have taken the bathroom after me just not wash their hands while I'm thoroughly washing mine. Now, this is something that we can easily resolve and mitigate if we take the proper procedures, not just of getting all the soft soap in the world, which, I mean, for all of you who are getting soft soap specifically, I mean, no bar soap, seriously. For all of you, I get it. You guys have families, you don't want to use the same soap. I don't like using bar soap in public anyway. I get you on that. But for all of you who are living by yourself, not even bar soap, really, soft soap. And for those who are on the run, I get it. Hand liquid sanitizer soap, okay, I get that too. All right, cool. How many times are you actually going to use that? Seriously. How many times are you actually going to use the things that you're buying? Because, let's be honest, the way Americans don't wash their hands, I mean, you're not fooling anyone here. This is how we got this far as is. By people not washing their hands. By people thinking that, oh, I'm just going to pull it out, and I'm just going to sit like this, and I'm just going to, I have someone hold it, and someone's going to hold it because of my privilege, right? My American privilege. And then I don't need to shake it out because, you know, even if I don't shake it out, there's going to be some residual flow in there that may just spill in me, but, you know, whatever. I didn't touch it. So that gives me all the license to, you know, not have to spend like 30 to 40 seconds washing my hands, drying my hands, because, you know, that's just too much, you know, because we should have been advanced to the point in which we had machines and Androids and Android 18 to do that for us. I mean, you should have a freaking sexy-ass Android 18, you know, holding me while I'm urinating and then walking to the freaking sink and having her just lather my hands and, you know, lather something else too. And then just have her blow out hot air in order for me to dry my hands. We should be at that technology. Why do we not have that Android 18 bathroom assist technology where, you know, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I'm waiting for the dolls. I know. What? I am not looking for a doll. I am not looking for a romantic doll. Do not put me in that category. All I want is for her to hold it while I whip it good, and for her to wash my hands, and then to blow on my hands, and just to blow something else. I did not mention any sort of romantic doll whatsoever. And that's what these guys want. And it's sad how Americans are so lazy that they won't even wash their hands. Even at this point, they'll get all this stuff. They'll even buy bleach and toilet paper and hand wipes and hand sanitizer, but they won't do the simple things. Or for those who feel as if they don't want to wash their hands every other minute, all right, that's fine. If you don't want to do that, at the very least, and this is probably a good third recommendation, get some disposable gloves. I mean, you don't know what you're touching when you step outside in general, and that's under good conditions. But especially under conditions like this where a lot of people are going to spread other stuff besides coronavirus due to what I stated about panicking. This is the main reason out of all reasons why I would highly suggest those who are watching to make sure that you have a good amount of disposable gloves, particularly when you go outside in public. And for those who don't want to reuse and throw away gloves, get some reusable gloves, and every single time you come back in, make sure you thoroughly wash them. But for those who are ahead of the curve and realize that this is something that will eventually go away, and that this event is very commonplace, it just has a new trendy word to it, and it's just coming at a very convenient time when the world markets are slowing down, even prior to this. I mean, for all of you who realize this, capitalize on it. The best thing I can tell you is look at what's being brought out the stores. Maybe if you just stand outside of Costco in your car and then just look at what all the lemmings are grabbing that you have in your house already. Wink, wink. Note at what all the things that they're grabbing. Do research and invest in those companies. And if you're real smart, you may want to take a short on some of these companies that are suffering right now. Granted, I am no financial advisor, so do not rely on me for financial advice. I have to put that in there for all you litigious guys who are going to come back here and say, oh, you told me to do this and I lost money, I'm going to sue you. I am not a financial advisor, all right? These are just things that I'm personally doing, and if you want to join in on the fun, go on ahead. But before you have any fun, just take these common precautionary measures of washing your hands, not panicking, staying out of large crowds, especially if you get a sense of double-digit IQ 5s, having a small bottle of hand sanitizer and or some reusable plastic gloves, maintaining your immune system so that you will not succumb to this virus or at the very least suffer the worst symptoms of it, and washing your hands. Everyone else out there, always bet on X.